to the lecture series of Mobile Computing and Wireless Communication. I am your instructor, Ms. Alpa Rupala. So today we are going to learn about OSI model and TCP/IP model. So topics to be covered in this lecture. First of all, we will learn about what is protocol, then after OSI model, and then after TCP/IP model. So what is protocol basically? Before that, we need to define the network. The network is nothing but a communication system in which there are multiple users, and that all user is having some communication device, and that all devices are connected with each other in a network. That is what computer network. So protocols are what? Whenever these devices are connected with each other, this all device must be governed by some rules. So the set of rules or certain set of rules is known as protocols. So ultimately protocols are very much important. Why we are needing the protocols? So the need of the protocol architecture is, first, source must be active to direct data communication path or information communication of the identity of the desired destination. That means your data, first of all, your source must be known or identified, and your destination also must be identified. And the path between the source and destination must be identified. Then after, your receiver must be prepared to receive the data. If it is prepared, if it is known that some data will be sent to me, so there must be some storage space to receive that data. If the receiver is not having the storage space, then data will not be received. So for the storage space requirement, protocol architecture is needed. And then after, if the data which is transmitted from the sender to receiver is of different type or different format, so the data format transmission must be functioned in this example. So this all are the need of the protocol architecture. For this reason, we must have protocol architecture. So if we talk about the first protocol architecture in our syllabus, that is OSI model. OSI, that full form is Open System Interconnection, which is developed by International Standard Organization ISO with 7 different layers. So which are the 7 different layers? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and last one is application layer. So your data is transmitted according to the physical layer to application layer at the sender side, and at the receiver side from the application layer to physical layer. So this whole process is known as OSI model. So if we see the layer and each and every layer functionality, we can see that in physical layer the data will be according to the bits. In data link layer, the data will be framed as a frames. In network layer, the data will be divided into a smaller parts that will be known as the packets. Then after, in transport layer, the data will be called as segments. And then after session, presentation and application layer, the data will be called as the data. So ultimately your 7 layers will be further divided into 2 types. That is, first 3 layer, that is physical layer, data link layer and network layer, combinedly known as the media layers. And the transport, session, presentation and application layer will be known as the host layer. The functionality of each and every layer. So first of all, the physical layer. The physical layer is responsible for transmitting of actual bit. So actual bit data transmission will be done by the physical layer. So ultimately the data, the topology, the data transmission, the multiplexing techniques, that all will be handled by the physical layer. Next one is data link layer. The data link layer is responsible for hop-to-hop delivery of data, the flow control, error control, that all mechanism. Next one is network layer. The network layer is responsible for packetization, routing of your data, then etc. And IP addressing, that is your logical addressing. Okay, next is transport layer. The transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery of data, flow control, error control, but process to process, not the end to end. Okay, process to process, that means end to end delivery of data. Next is session layer. Session layer is responsible for establishing, managing, and disconnecting of the session. Then synchronization, all the particular fundamental will be handled by session layer. Next, presentation layer for translation, encryption, and compression of your data. The presentation layer is responsible. And then after last, that is application layer to allow network services. Then after human interface, file data transfer, mail transfer, that all will be handled according to the application layer. So these all are the OSI model, different 7 layers, and the functioning of the each and every layer. Now next, network devices. So first network device is repeater. So ultimately repeater is used as a physical layer. So we know that when a signal is being transmitted from the sender to receiver, some amount of attenuation will be there. Attenuation means reduction of signal strength. So whenever there is a reduction of signal strength, at that time we need to boost up the signal. Okay. So ultimately the repeater's work is to regenerate the original signal while it is being big. Okay, so ultimately the distance is making it a big. So from the sender to receiver, at intermediate we can have the repeater which boosts the signal. It do not amplify the signal, but it is regenerating. Okay, regenerating means bit by bit the data will be regenerated and original signal strength will be created. There can be 2-port devices. It is a 2-port devices. Repeater, you can see the example. It is a Wi-Fi repeater with 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz value. Okay, so this is the real life image of repeater also. Now the next is hub. So hub is nothing but the multi-port repeater. There is multiple devices can be connected by a single hub. There is no filtering of data available in a hub. Hub is just a device which is transferring the data into multiple devices with multi-port repeater. Okay, but it is not so as intelligent to filter out the data, that this data is for this particular receiver, this data is for this particular receiver. Okay, it will just broadcast the data, and all the receiver which is receiving, it will identify and compare their destination address with themselves. If the destination address matches, then it will receive it. If it is not matching, then it will discard it. But the security is very low in this manner. So next type of hub, we can have 2 type of hub, active hub and passive hub. The active hub is having their own power supply, but passive hub is getting supply from the active hub. Okay, so these 2 are the type of hub. Now next is bridge. The bridge works at a data link layer when it is having a special kind of functionality of filtering. That means according to MAC address, which receiver is having this data is for which receiver, it will directly transfer the data to that particular MAC address device. So it is very intelligent than the hub. If the bridge is having 2 types. First, transparent bridge, that means even the device is unaware of the bridge is exist in the system. And next one is source routing bridge. So this kind of bridge, we first need to identify the route of the all the devices, and that route can be find out by the discovery frame that will be sent by the sender to the receiver. Okay, so this is the source routing bridge and transparent bridge. Now next one is switch. So switch is nothing but the multi-port bridge. We have seen bridge that is having only 2 connections in which your data will be can be filtered out. Okay, the switch is a multi-port bridge and it is very much of efficient than the bridge, and it is working at the data link layer. Now next is router. Obviously we all know that router is very much important for the communication in a computer network, because it is working at a network layer where actual switching is being applied. So it is like a switch. Ultimately router is like a switch, and but based on IP addresses. Based on IP address, it is filtering out the data. That means if this data is for this particular IP address, then router will send the data to that IP address device, and it is working at a network layer. So basically LAN and WAN is having router in the whole computer network, very in large size. Next is gateway. Gateway is nothing but a kind of device which make the communication able for two different communication network. Likewise, at the one end there is a LAN and at the another end there is a Wi-Fi. So ultimately we are communicating with two different kind of fundamental wired network and wireless network, but the gateway will have one special connection in which it can transmit the one form of data into the another form of data, so the communication can be possible. So for the connection of two different networks, we can have the gateway device. It is working at the network layer. Next one is router. So it is a combination of bridge and router combinedly, and it is working at a data link layer. So this whole you can see as a diagram: router, switch, hub, bridge, gateway. These all are what are different network devices which is being used in a communication network in OSI model and as well as TCP/IP model. So the next topic is TCP/IP model. As we are having OSI model 7 layers, in TCP/IP model we are having the 5 layers. So this all 5 layers are application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical network layer. So data link layer and physical network layer can combinedly known as network interface layer. So ultimately if we compare the OSI reference model with the TCP/IP model, then we can see that first three layers, that is application layer, presentation layer and session layer, combinedly known as application layer in TCP/IP. That means the functionality of this 3 layer can be clubbed into the single layer, that is the application layer. The transport layer is having the same according to functionality. Network layer is also having the same functionality as OSI, but data link layer and physical layer functionality will be combined into a two different layers, will be combined into a single one, that is network interface layer. So we can see that this is all are different protocols which are used in a TCP/IP, that is in application layer Telnet, FTP, etc. In host to host transport layer we can have TCP. Okay, in internet layer we can have IP. Okay, ARP also, and in network interface layer we can have Ethernet, token ring, frame relay, etc. So this is the protocol suite which are used as the TCP/IP layers. So what will be the basic functionality? In physical layer, the same as modulation and coding, decoding, power control, all the functionality will be handled by the physical layer. Then at data link layer, we are having the MAC and LLC. Okay, and so the channel access can be done, retransmission of data, error control, flow control, that all will be handled by the data link layer. In network layer, neighbor discovery, routing, resource allocation, that all functionality will be given by the network layer. Then in transport layer, end-to-end error recovery, flow control, retransmission of data, multiplexing, that will be handled by the transport layer. And in application layer, compression, then translation, encryption, that all functionality will be handled by the application layer. So this is for today, in which we have learned about the protocols, and after the OSI model, then network devices, and then after the TCP/IP model and comparison of both. So thank you. We will meet in our next lecture.